This is the current state of my garage. It's way closer than what it was before as far as being completed, but this weekend I got a lot of stuff to get going. Now that's my old workbench. This is literally 2 feet by 8 feet, almost exactly, which kind of sort of happened by accident, but it was really just those studs were 8 feet. So, you know, that's the size of the table that it came out with. Now I built this table a while back, and honestly, it's a very sturdy table. You know, it's no big issues with it. It's just the top needs redone. So if you're gonna redo the top, then it's like, you still have a custom built table that, you know, is just some handyman wannabe table built workbench. I like this table because it's been great. You know, you got to look at things like this. Like I've spray painted, I've drilled holes in it. I've used it literally as a workbench. And most recently, because when I was epoxying my floor, I had some extra epoxy. I put a coat of epoxy on top of it. I mean, I was planning on throwing it away, so it didn't really matter. But I want essentially everything to be nicer. Got all these husky things. So this will now be a husky table. And that is where this comes in. It took, I want to say a week and a half, 2 weeks to get, but this is an 8 foot by 2 feet husky table that I have to assemble, obviously, but yeah, that's going to take the replace of that old one. In reality, all of this is kind of wasted space. So I got 2 big storage units to go over that. If I really, really like the way those go in, I might add a 3rd right above this, because all this space, just there's nothing to put there except for storage. So I'm going to do that, put up the storage. Hopefully I'll be able to get to that this weekend. I'm going to replace this table and all will look a little bit better. Not to mention this is my air compressor that I talked about before, and I had a lot of people who told me putting it on the wall would be a terrible idea, and a lot of internet things say putting it in the attic is a terrible idea. So the only other viable solution is going to be putting it underneath the fuel shelf, which I installed last video, but I measured it and it needs to be up to like right here to allow the air compressor to come out. Not a big deal. Take out a few screws, fill in a few holes, up, you know, raise it up 3-4 inches and should be good to go. But, you know, just another thing I have to redo in order to make that just a little bit out of the way. Also, that means I'm going to be running some wires that are probably going to be eyesores. That's going to go up the wall and then over to, I don't know, one of these plugins for the garage door openers. Not to mention I have a sponsored video coming for some other openers that I was gonna take that plug in, but look at this. I got these outlets, right? These are diamond plated outlets. It's pretty cool. Spent $90 on diamond plated outlets. So this is like a nice little workbench light area. You know, I like that. It's kind of cool. I got these outlets everywhere. Boom, right there. And they sent me the wrong one. They were supposed to send me a double outlet, but they sent me an outlet with a switch on it. So they are fixing that for me because these are solid metal, like really solid metal. So I can't just go to the local hardware store and pick them up because all the ones at the local hardware store are plastic and don't look like that. But I really do like these things. I mean, $90, but damn, it's nice. And it kind of makes me regret because I got these in gray, like these little backings that I made for this. It's in like in space gray, whereas that's black. So a little bit of color mismatch, but you know, whatever. I'm not an interior designer, so I'm doing the best I can. And just in case you haven't noticed it, yes, I'm missing 2 drawers here. I have a lot of wrenches that I'm trying to find the best way to sort them using this methodology. See how clean that is right there? I got all this foam that I ordered, super expensive foam for what it is, but it has a red underneath, right? And it just slots everything in there. So I'm still trying to figure out the best way to lay out all the wrenches that I have. I'm thinking it's gonna have to be in 2 separate drawers, but yeah, I'm just playing with that still. That has been months ago, and this toolbox started all this hell for me, so I wanna get the toolbox right before I put stuff in there. So yeah, looks like these are the basic tools I need. So little drill, hammer drill or whatever, adapter for a socket for this, and then wrench obviously for that, and this for the screws. As far as I can tell, that's all I really need. And just like that, my new matching workbench is all built. Kind of, you know, easy to build, but still, you know, how to build it. And today I start putting this up. Yeah, I got all that in. So just like putting marks on the walls or whatever. It looks like the studs aren't gonna line up just because of the way this was made. It's like, you know, stud here, stud there, and then stud over here. So it's not gonna line up. So I'm gonna have some of these, or if not most of them, hung by drywall anchors, which I don't necessarily like, but as long as I know that and keep that in mind, I mean, I'm sure it'll be able to support enough, but it is what it is. So I got the first one with only one screw in. I got the first one on, and as you can notice, the light switch is behind the wall control, which was something I was kind of worried about. I was like, you know, how's that gonna work? Well, to fix that, I got these. They're little socket extender thingy majiggers. So I am going to cut a hole in my nice and shiny, bright, brand new wall control stuff. And then I'm gonna extend that light switch out, and that should make it look better. Huh. I mean, what could go wrong? So I solved the problem of not having a box by not using a box and just, you know, wedging this thing, because this is pure metal. So once you screw it in, it's solid AF. But looking pretty good. Also, I forgot that I was going to replace this switch with an all white switch because it's like beige. It's the original one, and I just completely forgot to. So I'm not gonna do that right now, but yeah, one panel down. I got the other ones lined up though, and I have the holes cut. Come on, don't tell me you didn't see some RGB coming. I mean, I had to. It was literally a requirement, a necessity, but I love it. I'm just saying, it's pretty awesome. I still got to put up shelves and everything, but I finally get everything wired up and hooked up and put the table back, and just kind of wanted to see it. Actually, I play music through my phone with a Bluetooth speaker, so it has like a music mode, which is really cool, that I'm gonna have to get the different camera up here just to capture that, but pretty neat. And here it is, all hooked up. Look at this. So I love these outlets, these things, or these face plates. These things look amazing. They definitely go with the color, perfect. And I put the extension wall cord thing on the left-hand side because I have things plugged in and I just didn't want to run wires. And realistically, it is what it is. Realistically though, if I want to add another one, I can, and I can run it right there. So, and I can kind of level it out. But I like it over there, especially because I had the RGB hookups. As you can see, got all the wiring and stuff in there, trying to make it look as good as possible. But, you know, you can only do so much. But I think I made it look pretty decent. There you have it. I mean, that's cool. I got to get the shelves up, but once I get everything in, I can make this turn like red. And that would go with, see, if it's red, with the red shelves, because that's what I got, it'll all match. I think that's everything. It should be. I still have this charger, this badass charger that I really kind of wanted to like mount somewhere like on the bottom left or something. But I don't really know how to mount that to it. I haven't really even got into it yet, so I have to. Anyways, that's what I'm working with. Today, I ordered some different things. Basically, in order to complete this little, you know, setup thing that I got going on here, I really needed more of these loopy-doopy thingies right there. So I ordered more of those because I ran out and I had way too many shelves. To be frank, I had 4 of these extra. 4. I forgot how much I paid for them, but I think they're like 15 bucks a shelf. I just don't need them. In fact, I want bigger ones. These, it's kind of bugging me because these are shorter, right? This one right here, this one's shorter, this one's taller. That bugs the living hell out of me. So I'm going to take these 3 down. I'm gonna keep those because I already opened them and I don't wanna be a dick. These go to wall control. I went on Amazon, I did a little return. They're unopened, so I don't feel bad about that. But even though I would love to have my $45 back or whatever, maybe I should return them. Doesn't matter. I ordered bigger shelves to make the entire top shelf, with the exception of the toilet paper roll up there, to make them all match. That way I can put bigger things on top and expand my collection of DeWalt shillness. By the way, DeWalt did not pay anything for this video. I just started an ecosystem and I followed through with it. So since I ordered that stuff today, now, here's the thing. By Wednesday, tomorrow, I need to get my jet ski back in here because we're about to have a freezing cold snap and I don't necessarily winterize my jet ski. I just keep it indoors, right? So I have to get it inside just to make sure nothing happens to it. In order to get it inside, I have to get my garage available. In order to get my garage available, I need to get my lights up. That's what I'm gonna take a pause and do. I'm gonna get my lights up. I brought these in to test them out, but I just kind of set them off to the side there because I wasn't really ready to tackle that just yet. These are 8 feet long. I'm gonna have 9 of them up there. And originally I was gonna have a 10th underneath the shelving, but since the shelving isn't really lining up to work out that way, I'm not gonna do that anymore. But 9, 10,000 lumen, 8-foot LEDs on the ceiling with these also lit up as well. So I could turn them on and off individually, like just the big set or the little set. So I could either have, oh my God, I can't see shit because it's so bright, or hey, this is cool. And I'm going to wire it to the switch. That one right there, you see that? That's actually a switch. This little thing right here, this little piggy. That's gonna turn on all the super bright lights. Oh, I got my plate today. I'm gonna put that first thing. I think I touched base on this before, but those nice, super fancy outlet cover thingies that I got from this place, Cuts Metal, right? They custom cut these and did whatever they do. And they are probably the most amazing, cover wall plates that I've ever owned. But they sent me the wrong one for that. I don't know if I have it over here. Doesn't matter. They sent me the wrong one and I could not complete my little thing. So I called them and I was like, hey, send me the right one. And then they sent me the new one, but it says postage due 40 cents. So they paid $3.50 to mail this to me, but they didn't pay enough. It was really $3.90. So I had to leave $1 in the little envelope for the post lady. Ta-da! Before, after, magic. Doesn't matter. The point is, they look amazing. I spent way too much money on them and I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Okay, so I'm only an engineer on my spare time, just for fun, it's nothing serious, but I just don't feel comfortable with 8-foot LEDs being suspended from the ceiling in drywall with this little tiny screw and mounting thing. Like, I get the mounting thing would hold sturdy. I've used these before, they're pretty legit, but unless this is being screwed into wood, I don't think it has the tensile strength. Wrong terminology, right idea. I'm just gonna use regular drywall screws. Let's just hope it doesn't fail. I mean, if I don't over screw it, right, like just use too much pressure and strip out all the sheetrock, these should probably maybe hold. If not, well, I'll never tell you because that would be super embarrassing if my lights fell down. So last night I lost a lot of steam. I was all motivated to get it done. Lost a lot of steam because I installed my first light and it's a little crooked. Look at that. I mean, that is just crooked. So the problem is measuring, right? You get up there, you're on the ladder, you're stretching this out to 57, which is the inches that I decided on. 57 inches, and you can't bend it upside down, right? So you have to like that, and then you have to push it up against the wall. You have to guess where 57 is, and you have to flip it and try to mark it. I mean, it's just inaccurate. I'm inaccurate trying to measure that. So I had to night to chew on it, and I came up with a different idea. Instead of measuring it each time, I am going to cut this to 57 inches and drill a hole on the end, right? We'll drill a hole and then cut it to 57 inches. And then that's what I'm gonna use to mark every single, screw hole. So it'll be the same thing every time. That's my plan. Also, it is starting to finally get cold, and I'm realizing how much I need heat out here. All I have is this little space heater. I'm also blowing in. Look, this is kind of sad, I know, but I'm blowing in a fan, which is blowing in warmer air from my house into here. So I got kind of two avenues there to try to raise the temperature just a little bit. It's not super cold. It's 59 degrees. It was 58. So it's already helping a little bit, but it would be nice to get a big infrared heater or something, but that's gonna require probably a dedicated electrical line, just because I'm gonna be running so many watts through one circuit already. I'm gonna have to run a dedicated line. And if I'm gonna run a dedicated line, I might as well run two dedicated lines and put an AC split in. But that is a whole nother adventure, and I'm just not ready for that right now. The piece of wood thing worked pretty decent. It's, takes a little bit to get going, but I had to move a few screws. Actually, I moved all the screws just to make sure they all lined up perfectly with the new piece of wood. And there you go, it looks straight. So now I'm just gonna put up the rest down this first row here. It's about 57 inches. And then try to get it to where, they're spaced evenly apart. I try to lay them out so I could put the ladder right over it and kind of eyeball where the mounting brackets are gonna go. But yeah, check it out. 1, 2, tres, cuatro. I got 4 of them installed, and I'm gonna take a little lunch break because it is now noon o'clock and I'm actually really, really hungry. But I got those installed. They are 24.5 inches on each one, like from there. And then over here, you got that little wire that connects the two. So that's stretched out as much as possible. So that's kind of set my guides for this next row. So I'm, almost halfway done as far as hanging these lights. But the next big thing is gonna be wiring it, which is kind of a thing because I'm going to run it from this switch, right? And I'm going to run it up through the drywall. And I'm not an electrician, but I feel like drilling a hole with a 120 volt line is probably against code. So with that said, I think before I actually wire this, I'm gonna have to go to Home Depot again. And I'm thinking I don't know, a junction box maybe? I don't really know. I haven't crossed that bridge yet. That's a whole different story, but I do know that up here, all the way over here, I'm going to be drilling a hole through the ceiling and just running the wires up. So I will be getting in the attic and running those wires. So I got to run that up the wall, through the drywall, and connect to it. Yes, I really should have thought this through and continued that up. I didn't know I was getting lights until after I was done with the walls, okay? Again, planning, forethought, lack all of it. For lunch, I'm still eating freshly. Today, I weighed 176 pounds. I started this freshly adventure at 199.9. That was August 28th. It is October 21st right now. So, yeah, a couple months. I've lost 24 pounds. My goal was by December 1st to weigh 175. So, part of me really wants a pizza. Celebration. But the other part of me is kind of lazy and don't want to wait for pizza. So, there it is. It's ready. If you guys want to lose weight, eat great, use my coupon down below, save 40 bucks. Lunchtime! The cracks kind of irritating me a little bit. I don't know how to fix those, but can't really see them from this high up. You can kind of see it right there. I really, really don't like those. I have a theory that I could just caulk it, right? White caulking, let that dry. And I can just whip out, you know, that white paint, just do a touch up and blend it, and hopefully the caulking being, you know, flexible will keep it from showing cracks again. And there you go, all done. I mean, they're not perfect, I'll give that to you, but they're pretty good, I think. I have to say the little measuring stick that I made out of that board was probably a really good idea, or definitely a really good idea. Now I just gotta wire it. So again, I'm gonna run it up that wall and go through the ceiling, and then I think I'm just gonna run a single wire up over to there, and then drill a hole through each one, run one wire up, cap it, extend it, cap it, extend it, cap it. So I have to go get what I need to do that. I already have some wire to run those, and each strip will be powered individually as far as like 1, 2, 3, like all 3 of these will have their own power source. So if something goes out here, it's not gonna knock out like half the garage. So I guess the next logical course is to paint this door. Squirrel! And coat 1 is done! Yes, I definitely need another coat because I'm going from white to red, and it kind of peeks through a little bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna let that dry while I paint the second door the same exact color, and then maybe it'll be dry enough to paint the other one again. Maybe not, I don't know. Okay, I don't want to close the door yet. I just finished that, but that is door number 2.
Hi-ho, it's not the Home Depot go. Hi-ho.
That's right, another Home Depot trip. So whenever I do that, I can do the second coat. And then if there's enough time, I can wire the ceiling and let this bitch light up. It's gonna be like 120,000 lumens or some shit. I am like so excited for that. Squirrel! I got my shells. They were delivered while I was painting. Oh! Look at that, done. So here's the plan, right? This is the end of the light. And each series of lights controls 3 lights, as I mentioned earlier. But the light switch, I ordered a angle light switch. I didn't, ow, oh God damn it. Ow, that was a nail. Okay, so I bought like an angled switch thing that, or an angle plug-in thing that I can make a custom like plug-in for. And that's gonna be on this end. Now, I probably wouldn't have done this if I would have planned ahead. Like, let's just be honest. Probably wouldn't have done it if I would have planned ahead. I didn't plan ahead, so now I'm kind of winging it. But now I'm kind of like, I kind of like the idea of it because that means I can control it separately, right? So it gives me a little bit more control over if I need to unplug those lights or do anything. It's run separate. It's not as clean as the previous install, but that's okay. Now, these are that's pretty secure. Like they're in there tight, but the reason why you need a firebox or just an electrical box is to, you know, keep wires from being moved and essentially like pulling them out. Because if you pull them out while they're live, that's when you can have issues, and you know, I'm sure there's a better reason for that, but as far as I would recommend. But instead of doing that, I'm gonna use these. I can just hear the comments already. Like, I know this should not be like this. So mark my words, I'm gonna fix that. I am going to put a piece of board and I'm gonna put a little junction box or whatever the hell you call it, the little, you know, plastic thing. I'm gonna put it right there and I'm gonna enclose all that and I'm gonna do that better. But it is 10:30 at night and I wanna see these freaking lights go up. So I got 2 more to do. There you go. This is the plug. I'm gonna wire this to this and then plug it into that. I got everything wired up, right? I'm gonna paint that. It looks a little weird, but you know, this is an afterthought. So now that I got the plug made, I can plug this in. Kind of bends weird. Super. There we go. There we go. That is my fancy light switch plug for the lights, for all the lights. Now, first test. What do you guys think? What do you, 30, 50, 60% chance? Ready? Yes! Woo! Look at that! Woo! Yo, it's so bright! Yes! Oh, that is fucking amazing! Woo, baby! The next step is installing those shelves. Now, those are gonna go up here, and I know that I'm gonna have to be crawling around in the attic a little bit because I'm going to have to build a frame basically above this ceiling to where the shelves can attach to, because you know the studs aren't gonna line up perfectly. And I wanna make sure that it'll be able to handle all the weight without risking coming crashing down if I accidentally put too much weight on it. So I will have to be up there and build the frame. Because I knew that was gonna be such a pain in the ass, I just didn't really wanna start it, but here we are today. Since I'm gonna be in the attic, I'm gonna need light. And you see these lights? I still have one more of them. Look at that. Still have one more. The problem is I don't have power in the attic, or at least not without running an extension cord from where the switch is. So I took one of those, I took an extension cord, I sliced it, and this wonderful little wiring job here taps that and maintains the extension cord. So a little jankety, but you know what? With this all up in the attic, this should be bright AF. Before I get started, these were bought off Amazon, Flexi mounts, model GR48B, links in the description down below, 4x8, so it's gonna be 8 inches wide, 8 feet wide, 4 feet deep, and I got 2 of them, because that's roughly about 8 feet across each one. So, yeah. Okay, so here's upstairs. I dragged some wood up here, and this is literally just spare stuff. I think this was like my old table or part of a table. I put some 2x4s down just to walk on, screw those down. These are nothing but, you know, just sturdier things to walk on. And then you have the battery, the Jackery 1000 being badass over there, powering this big old light. And as you can tell, that thing lights up everything. Little wide angle right there. It's probably not as good quality, but you can see it definitely lights up the work area. So I have this backup light right here just so I could turn that off when I go back downstairs. Because when I was in the garage, this board right here, you can see I added that, and this isn't attached, it's just free floating, but all these other ones I added support boards for and then screwed into this 2x4, as you can see right there. That's gonna be the support brace for the shelving unit, and I know that's where it goes because I drilled a hole in the sheetrock to know where I needed it. I didn't really have anything else to do or any other way to attach that besides just building a bridge and then attaching that to the bottom. So it's sturdy as hell, so it ain't going nowhere. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2x4s holding it up. So that should be able to handle just about anything. And it's kind of floating on the sheetrock there too, so it shouldn't pull down on the sheetrock at all. After building brand new studs for all of these, because of course none of the studs lined up, and if I were to use the studs that it would have worked, they would have literally been like out right around there and then out to like right around there, which wouldn't have been bad, I guess, but it just would have looked a little funky and not where I wanted it to be. So thankfully, these are a little forgiving, I think, slightly, a little bit. I mean, they don't look straight 100%, and I can guarantee you, with the B&B money back guarantee, that this is all crooked as shit, because I eyeballed most of it. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I still have 3 of these to put up. I got most of the supporting brackets, and then I'm gonna put those brackets up. Pretty close. It took 4.5 hours to get this damn thing installed. And I gotta say, again, this is kind of a little, I don't know, forgiving, because you can see over there, it's kind of like over the side, over there, it's a little bit straight. That's because I did not get that one far enough away, and it's noticeably not lined up. You see the framing here. So this is kind of brought over. So at least this one is a little bit farther. I might not have to only like put a short one over there, and then I have to extend that out over there. So I kind of sort of ran out of 2x4s that are usable. Like I think this is straight enough. That one right there is straight enough. This one right there is not straight enough. So yeah, it's all warped and shit, but I don't know. I was thinking about, I don't know. I might have to go get a couple more 2x4s, which wouldn't really be bad. I do like adding all this like walking around area, so I'm not like stepping on each little individual stud. Plus, it kind of like spaces out the weight a little bit to where it doesn't buckle in the sheetrock underneath. Anyway, so up next, I don't know why I'm getting my heaters in, but I ordered 2 natural gas heaters, which will require me to run a gas line up into this attic and then over to the side walls and then down into the garage. They are 25,000 BTU heaters each, and I think they're gonna keep the place pretty toasty. I just gotta put some insulation up here. I don't know if I just wanna buy another round of, you know, roll out insulation. That way I can put the 2x4s over everything and then just kind of accept that it's not super good insulation. Or if I wanna blow out all that, you know, fiberglass stuff that you see over there. So I don't really know yet. I'm kind of leaning towards the rolling thing because this, having a floor here, which earlier this weekend I was like, hey, let's just get a bunch of 2x4s and make a floor. And then I use all the spare 2x4s I have and I barely make any kind of a floor. Not that I need all this, that doesn't matter. So I guess I don't really need too many. Like really, I just think it'd be cool to make, like this is the entrance, which I do kind of want to make a nice entrance, but this is the entrance. I just kind of want to make this area a floor. That way I can store stuff. I don't know what, but you know. Now, this thing is supposed to handle 600 pounds. Now, that's like regular joist studs things that it attached to, not the janky ones that I installed, but you know, 175 pounds. Actually, I had Papa John's, so I'm like 4 pounds heavier, but I want to test it. Oh man, this is a bad idea. Okay, it can hold the weight, but it is flimsy as fuck. So the estimator plumber guy came by, took a look at my little setup here, and he gave me a ridiculous price. Wants to charge me $1,600 to run a gas line from the basement up to the new heaters that are coming in, which I feel is like completely ridiculous. To give you an idea, here's the entrance to my garage, right? Here's the light switch to my garage. Directly down here, there's a hole in the subfloor. About 8 inches over is a gas line that he said he's gonna tap. So he's gonna take an angle, it's a 1.5 inch angle, and he's gonna add a 1.5 inch T, use a reducer over to a 1 inch, take the 1 inch, bring it up this wall, right, into the ceiling, into the attic. And then from there, split it off and feed over down here, down the ceiling and over to the heaters. Now, he was basically saying, I have to take out a chunk here of the drywall, and just to get this pipe to feed through this wall. And the whole time he's like making this seem like he's moving a mountain. You know, he's talking to me like I'm a dumbass, which I am a dumbass, but I'm not that dumb. And he's acting like, you know, I'm basically building a freaking house here, you know, like, oh, I might be able to do it for 1,600. It might be 1,800. I'm like, what are you talking about? So, long story short, I'm going to Lowe's. And there you have it. The new support studs are installed in place. Now I just got a little bit left to put up, but I got all the studs in place. As you can see, again, just like 6 inches off, you know, but I had to add a whole stud and then support it probably a little bit more than I needed to. I mean, that's a lot of support, but I just didn't want them to, one, fall down, two, push too much on the drywall, because that would just add more cracks. Look, if I ever say that I want to take on a remodel or a renovation like this again, I want someone to drive to my house and punch me in the face. Like, just right in the face. I finally finished getting the shelves up. It is 1:30 in the morning, and I mean, in sync might be straighter than these shelves, but at least they're up. Okay. A little bit of creaking going on, but it held me. So there's that. I am not entirely sure what it is I think I measured, but I, for some reason, was thinking that would fit underneath the fuel shelf. I just needed to raise the shelf. So I took that down, I was gonna raise that up, and I'm like, you know what? Let's do a little fitment test, because for some reason, that looks thinner than I thought. Sure enough, it does not fit. So the way I look at it is this space over here with this cabinet or whatever, like that's pretty much not usable no matter what. So I guess that's where this compressor is gonna live. And I'm gonna hook that up in a stud somewhere right there that can reach that. Thankfully though, 50 feet is, you know, pretty long. So I can reach out about halfway to my garage, or out halfway to my driveway. And I also have an extension of 25 feet. So if I do need to go out longer or whatever, I can add some ends to that and have a quick connect thing going on, and I can extend it if I need to. So day 4,063 into this garage renovation, I've decided to play with fire, or more specifically, play with natural gas. What you see there is a natural gas line, of course. Look, natural gas, 1/2 inch, feeds the water heater here. So follow that up over there, goes there, and here, and here, and right over here. It comes down to feed the furnace, obviously, right? But then it goes up. This is the main line. This is the, I'm gonna go 1.5 inch line that comes up here, and it elbows right there. And then right above that, you see that? That goes to the light switches upstairs, which is roughly right around there. Comes up, got the light switches, powers everything, and then you have the garage. Then that gas line in the attic will come up, split off, go 1/2 inch over to there, and then 1/2 inch all the way up and around there, where I'm going to be installing 2 heaters. Well, 1 heater on each side, but 2 heaters, 50,000 BTU of radiant heat. Check it out, okay. That's the heaters, right? Oh, let's see if I can, there we go. Heat Star, had to order these. God, I wanna say it was like $650 or $80 or something. I don't know. Expensive, supposed to be really good. I could have went with propane, but I don't want to deal with the tank. I just want to hook up a gas line, turn this thing on, set the thermostat that it comes with. You don't see it, but it's in there. And then just forget it, you know? When it gets warmer outside, I can turn it off. But all winter long, I can just keep it a nice, 55 degrees in there, unless I'm working in there. Then it can be a nice 70 degrees in the garage. I honestly chewed long and hard on the idea of adding a mini split over in the corner over there. A mini split, if you don't know, is basically a little miniature air conditioner. Has its own little round or setup and everything, to where basically it would just be like somewhere in the corner, it'd blow cold air in. I really thought, hey, that'd be cool to have in the summer, but then I just thought to myself, usually when I'm doing stuff in the summer, I like having the garage door open, I like having the airflow, you know, being trapped in here with AC, although it would be nice sometimes. For the most part, I just don't really know if that's gonna be my thing. I don't think it's worth the money, is what it really comes down to, because I spent so much freaking money on this damn garage so far. It hurts. Did I mention I installed a TV? Yeah, little 55-incher. I still need to put the brackets on it to hide that. There we go. Much better. So to figure out this gas line stuff, I went to Home Depot again, and I got a drill set for drilling some stuff. I got a crap ton of drill extensions, right? It was $90 just in extensions, or even more, I don't know. And I got a bunch of different size fittings and things, because I have no idea what I'm doing, so I just bought a bucket full of crap. And then, for the gas line themselves, most of these are 1/2 inch that I bought, and I think I have what I need. But the main line, the one that's gonna split off from 1/2 inch, is gonna be 3/4 inch, right? So that's gonna run from that elbow area that you saw in the basement all the way up to the attic. And then it's gonna split off and go into two 1/2 inch things. I really want that to be just one solid pipe, a metal pipe, to go up through the ceiling. And I just want it to be, you know, just solid, right? Because I don't know why I want this. I just really do. This is actually gonna be a pain in the ass to install, because it's 9 feet, which means that not only do I have to drill a hole that's probably gonna go through a fire block while inside the wall, but not only do I have to drill a hole, but I have to drill probably 3 holes to line up correctly, right? So I can shove the pipe down there. So that's gonna be interesting, because that's a 9-foot pipe. I don't think I might have room, you know, either in the attic or down here to get 9 foot angled in there enough, you know? I just don't know how it's gonna work. Let's go ahead and see if we can take a look on my kind of janky thing and see where this comes in and see if I have more room. It's not looking good. So you see over there, look right there. That is where the pipe, the wall inside is gonna come up, and then it's gonna come out right about there, give or take some change. So obviously I don't have a lot of room up here. This is as angled as it possibly can without any hole, and that's where it's gonna go. Well, not in that hole, but somewhere around there. So if I can drill a hole in either one of these sides, probably closer to this side, right? I should be able to shove this in and angle it and then shove it directly up. So this might actually be easier than I think. I don't want to be off, you know? Like if I drill up and I'm like basically drilling through the floor, and then I accidentally drill into, I don't know, the kitchen floor and the trim, like that would really suck. So I'm gonna drill a very small, where I think it should be, hole. And I have a little stethoscope thingy, I think that's what it's called, that I can stick up there and look around. It's like a camera, you know, on a thing. That way I can use my nice fancy drill bits to drill up through it a lot easier. Look at those things. Those things grab. I've used these before. These things are badass. They just dig into wood and they pull. Using the Wi-Fi camera, I was able to confirm that I did drill exactly in the middle of where I needed it to be. So that's good. That means it's ready for a bigger hole. And I also confirmed that there's a wire that goes directly across. So basically the reason why I wanted to know that is because when I'm sticking my drill bit up through the wall, I won't be able to see that or to know whether or not I'm really grabbing onto that wire or grabbing onto wood. So at least now I know where the wire is. That way I can stick my drill bit up there and kind of look in there with the camera and make sure that I'm not going to tear up that wire and drilling through it. Hopefully this is big enough. This is 1 1/4. This is a 12-foot extension. I have 9 of these extensions, so that gives me 9 feet. So I think that should work. Remember when I said that these bits were badass? That was an understatement. These things grab so hard. Like, look at these, look at that. It grabs so hard that it's either moving or not, which means it's either chewing through the wood or it's not, which means you need a pretty badass drill. At first I thought, okay, this will work, right? Pretty basic, thing locks in, super easy. It's like a little hammer, not really a hammer, but you know, that's always been Mr. Reliable. That didn't work, so I moved to this, and that also did not work. So then I thought, hey, how about an actual drill, right? A little right angle. Yep, that did not work either. So then I brought in the big guns. This is literally an impact with like an impact reducer thing to go to a quarter inch. Yeah, so that was able to get it. But literally, like that, I needed that much torque in order to drill through right there. And as you can see, yes, there are 2 holes there. That's for a very specific reason. That's because I have to angle this, right? You got to angle it up and into the hole. So there's going to be a little bit of a playing around there to get it in there. So that hole right there has to be double wide, and the other 2 holes can just be regular. I think it's big enough. I'm gonna see if I can stick the big black pipe in the very loose hole.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Oh, keep going. Keep going. Oh shit.
Oh shit! Oh my god, there's no fire block. Look at that! There's no fire block. The only thing I have to worry about is 2 things to drill through and the wire that's in between. But other than that, it goes all the way up. I guess I should go do a damage check real quick, make sure I'm not like drilling through a wall or something. I went upstairs, checked it, and make sure I wasn't like sideways or something, but as far as I can tell, it's chewing into the to the attic. So it's just a matter of keeping on until it gives. But I can tell that it's stuck in something because that, you know, that bit like grabs. So it's in something. Holy balls. This thing is cooking right now. So I decided hook up the lights again, but over here, and this time I just use the extension cord. I mean, I got an extension cord that I can pull from the middle of the garage, super easy. So anyway, I'm up in the attic and I think I see where it's coming through. Right there. Super zoom. See that thing in the middle? I think that's the tip of the bit. It looks like it. So all you gotta do is keep on keeping on. Got it. Check that out. Huh? Yeah, I bet. Oh, I just choked on my gum. To properly make these connections, thread pipe sealant. I've already did the one over there coming up, so now I'm just basically taking these 2 long pipes and connecting them together. I put this putty stuff on there so I get a nice seal. So that's how much room I have left. And since I'm going to put it right about there, that means I need to run the pipe one more over, give or take. I have to stop it. I have to. I know I've been filming for like a month, so I bet this video is already like 45 minutes long, but let me show you where I'm at. So since I got the pipe ran up here, I put a little T on there. So it's like, again, 3/4 coming up and then split off into 2 1/2 inches because that's what the heaters require. Then those are coming off like that, up, over, And that's where I'm stopping because I just finally got this connected. And then this runs all the way down into, I got about, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet. So I haven't done anything on that side yet. I've got about 3 or 4 feet, and then it'll go over, you know, another 3 or 4 feet. But for right there, I'm going to be putting a 90 and then probably straight shot right over there, like 6 inches or however long that is. So whenever I pick this up again, which hopefully be in the next few days, I pretty much just have to finish running this and figure out exactly where I'm going to drill through the sheetrock, the ceiling in the garage on both sides, but primarily I'm going to do this side first, and then I really have to make a run to Lowe's or Home Depot because although I got the piping and everything kind of laid out and stuff, and I got everything connected or whatever, I'm working on getting stuff connected, I still need to kind of bracket everything to the wood. So the way it's lined up now, like it should be fairly simple to get everything bracketed and secured to the wood. So everything's kind of lining out to be exactly what I need, but I just got to go get the proper brackets to do so. So that is it for part number 5. For the 5 of you who maybe made it all the way through the end of this video, I do want you to know that even though I am laying out the framework for this gas line, I am still going to hire somebody to come in, test the system, make sure there's no leaks, and hook it up to my gas. So pretty much what I'm doing right now is just setting up the framework. You know, hooking up the heaters, getting everything set up and connected and all good to go. And then I'm gonna be like, hey dude, or dudette, come hook up the gas line. So I will have somebody certified to do all this, finish it up for me. But since the guy that came over and gave me a quote made it seem like he was building a freaking house with his quote, I'm doing all the building for him, and then call somebody else, because screw that guy. He was a... But anyways, stay tuned for part 6. Thank you for watching. Any criticism, post them down below. Thank you for watching, like, and subscribing. Have yourself a good day. And just because I said I would do a grand reveal, here's the state of my garage right now. So haven't gotten rid of that, haven't gotten rid of that, but I have got kind of that put together, kind of, sort of. Got the TV, still haven't done my tools, got the storage, got the air compressor, got all that. Got that storage over there. I'm kind of thinking I want another one, but we'll see, because I still have yet to load everything and get everything up and running. But this storage above the garage is amazing, and I am like so happy I did that. So, you know, part 6 should be the last.
Come on, you didn't actually believe there's only going to be 5 parts to this garage story, did you? It's like you don't even know me.